Now these panels that we've worked out are super straight right now, but if you were to use the wrong block or the wrong technique, the second these things get paint and reflection on them, they could look wavy, and most people don't understand why. This is where show quality separates big time from just cars you see out on the road every day. So using the proper techniques, knowing which blocks to use, really go a long way and make all the difference in the world, and that's what we're going to show you today. So for what we've done on our 54 Buick, really cool car. We got a lot coming up on this, which is going to be awesome, and I can't wait to show you guys everything we're doing to it. We're finally really getting rolling on this thing. But one thing that we really want to focus on is getting our panels super straight, and there is a lot of technique involved into that, and the right tools go a long way. Now we've already filler worked these 3 panels, and this is just a skim coat of filler. It's super tight. The first thing we want to do, and where it all starts, is the foundation, which is in the metal. So we've got the metal worked out really straight just so we can get a skim coat to kind of just level everything off and keep it super flat and straight. So let's get going. On the rear quarter of our wagon, we've already worked out this rear section, and I wasn't going to skim it here because it's already really nice. We've got the metal work super straight, but there is just a couple of slight imperfections where I think we'll go ahead and just give this a really tight skim. Obviously we'll block most of it off, and then we'll have it ready to go into primer. So some things to note, which we'll talk about in another video, is we've got it in epoxy primer right now. Once we get our metal work done, we get everything in epoxy primer. That's corrosion resistant, so that's gonna help protect all of that metal that's under there from anything ever coming up through it, rust, surface rust, anything like that happening. And our epoxy is past our window. So you have a window that you can apply filler directly over the top of your sprayed epoxy. Once you pass that window, you need to sand it, which is going to get us that mechanical adhesion, which I've already done. So we've got all this sanded in 80 grit, which is what Evercoat recommends to apply their filler. And we're going to start getting ready to apply filler right there. So there's a lot of different blocks, a lot of different things that we could use here. We've got Endasa sandpaper, so it's a good quality paper that's going to last. And a lot of things that happen is a lot of times guys just pick up the wrong block. It's just the wrong block for the panel. For instance, we don't want to use this block. This is a great little block that I use in a lot of places, but this is what this block is for. So if we have something that's round, like maybe up here, we can contour to that with this block. If we get more of a rigid block like this one, it's a lot thicker. This is not going to do that. This block's going to stay flat, and that's a flat surface, and we want to make sure that we keep that flat. Something like an aluminum block, these things do not lie to you. These are really awesome. They're super straight. They are a little heavier, so they're going to wear on your shoulders, but you're going to get good even pressure all the way through, and it's going to block that filler off fast because it's got some weight to it. But I really like these blocks. I don't tend to go to the rubber blocks much. They move a lot, so you're not really going to get anything flat with that. And our goal with this whole thing is to have a super flat reflection once we've done all of our body work and primer out to clear coat. So let's get some of that filler. Let's apply a skim right here. We'll get this blocked out and we'll see how she looks. This is also where block length matters. Like this is a longer block. This one is roughly a little over 2 feet, and it really covers that area nice. That's a great block to block this area. If we get to a block that's a shorter block and we're trying to block this whole panel with this short block, we're not really going to get everything out. There's things in these panels that's called long rolls as well. You've got dents, wiggles, waves, but the long rolls, you know, you might have a low spot that stretches out this far. Well, this block, all it's going to do is go along with that low spot, and you're never really going to get that out. So block length really matters, along with pressure. Even though this block kind of contours, you could still block it out with this. It's just not the ideal block to use. The thing that's going to happen is hand pressure. If you've got too much hand pressure on each end, you're going to block heavy on the ends, and you're going to kind of create your own little wiggles there. So block choice really matters in this situation. Now we've got our panel really good and clean. That's another important thing. We're going to mix up a little filler. So this is the Evercoat Rage Optics. This is what we prefer to use, and we're going to take a deep dive into this coming up pretty soon. But this optics is really cool because it's color changing. So as we apply it, it's going to be pink. but as it cures and gets ready to sand, it's going to turn to blue. So it's basically going to tell us when it's ready. You'll notice too, I'm not stirring it up. You'll see a lot of people, they'll stir it. What that does, that creates air bubbles in it. That's where you get your pinholes. This Evercoat's also really great about not leaving any pinholes behind, but when you mix it up, if you'll pallet it out, you're kind of pushing that air out of that filler. Really helps not to get pinholes. All right, just a super tight skim coat, because that's all we need, because we've got our metal good. We had just a little bit of low here and just one little wave just right in the middle, so this should get it. All right, so now we're blue, we're ready to block. So this is where the block's really important. So we're using a big kid block right here. This is the thick one, so this has basically no bend to it. It's a flat block, and it's perfect for this area to be able to block it out flat. Always wear a mask when you're doing this, obviously. I'm having to talk, so. Going in a crosshatch pattern. So what that's doing, it's just keeping everything even for us. We're not going straight across, we're not going straight up and down. What that can do is kind of cut grooves in the panel, and it also won't be straight. So kind of just go along the entire panel, just letting the block do the work. Not a ton of pressure, just letting the block kind of cut it down. That way we're keeping it flat, because if we were to, like we were talking earlier, if we were to put too much pressure here, we're gonna cut grooves on the end, and it's just gonna make that wavy. So that's definitely what starts to set it apart from show quality in your everyday just car out on the road. And whew, this is the stuff that people don't film. And you're using this as a tool, so this is telling you what's going on in this panel. So we can see we're starting to break through a little bit there, so we know that's going to be a little bit of that high spot. We've got spots right here where you can see we still haven't touched the filler with the sandpaper yet, so that's a couple of lows. So we're just going to keep blocking. Obviously, once we get to where we're showing metal right here, we can't really go any further. So we either have to figure out, do we work that metal down a little bit, or do we just need another tight skim on here? Because right now this is just paper thin. All right, looking good. Feels really good too, but that's where the difference is right there. I'm not gonna rely on feel. We can run our hand up and down this panel all day long, but if we've got a long roll in it or just a slight wiggle, we're not gonna pick that up in the hand. So we got a product we're gonna use to check this to make sure it's straight. So I'm gonna go grab it, and it's looking good. So this is from Like 90, it's called Quick Check. So what this does, actually just kind of simulates clear coat. So it's gonna give us a nice reflection where we can take the lights, kind of run it up and down the panel, make sure there are no long rolls or just slight wiggles that we can't pick up right here. No odor to this stuff, and they've taken a lot of time, spent a lot of money to design this product to be able to apply it in a situation like this. So you don't have to worry about the filler soaking it up or anything coming back down the road. Not gonna happen. So just get it good and clean. We're gonna wet it down. And it's gonna stay wet for quite a while, but once we wet that down, looks really good, really good. I think we're ready for primer right there. Nice. So now what we'll do, we'll just let that completely dissolve. That's gonna just evaporate out of there. Don't have to worry about it. But what a great product to be able to use for something like this, because you're just relying on your hands. And then, you know, if you can't feel something like that, you're not wasting any product to hop over and then prime it, and then you weren't ready for it. So this really tells you the story of what's going on, and we definitely know we're ready for primer. Wagon's starting to take shape. Things looking really good. So I hope this helps. Just remember, if you want those show quality results, this is the part right here that you cannot rush.